of distribution. So we've got a couple of vocabularies. We've got a histogram and a frequency table. Frequency table is basically just a tally chart. So you've seen one of these, right? Let's say we have red and blue and yellow. And then we're going to tally up on a spinner when they land. So let's say it lands on red, then it lands on red again, then it lands on blue, then it lands on yellow, then it lands on red, then blue 3 times in a row, and then yellow twice in a row, and then a blue. So there's 3 reds, 5 blues, 3 yellows. That's called a tally chart. Okay? And then you turn your tally chart into a bar graph. So a bar graph looks like this. Okay? So that's called a histogram. All right, same deal with our skews. You either have skew left, symmetric, which I call centered for some reason. I don't know why I do, but I just do. And then skewed right, and remember it works like this, right? There's less, then there's more. That means it's skewed left. And this one, there's more to the left and less to the right. That means it's skew right. Okay? All right, so we need to make a tally chart and a histogram. So the first thing you do is choosing appropriate numbers. My guess is if you need help, because we don't want you to pick a weird scale, but this is me, I would take the range of numbers and then divide by 5. Then equalize your set of numbers. So you'll see what I mean in a second. Okay. So for this example, the range of numbers is from 105 to 5. So the range is 105 minus 5, which is 100. So the range of numbers is 100. And if I take that and divide it by 5, that means I have 20. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create groups of 20. So watch. I'm going to start out with 1 through 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, 81 to 100, and then 100 to 120, 101 to 120. And then I'm going to do my tally chart, okay? So I've got a 74, check. 85, 65, a 64, a 72, a 42, a 105, a 75, a 55, a 52, a 5, a 25, a 98, a 60, a 58, a 65, a 45, and a 31. So there's my tally chart. We call that a frequency table. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when you do a histogram, you have the tallies on the left. So you're going to do the tallies on the left, and then your range along the bottom. Okay? So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 6, 6, 2, and 1. So I'm going to count by 1s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then my range of numbers, this first bar is 1 to 20. Then the second one is, I got to write small, 21 to 40. Then the third one is 41 to 60, 61 to 80, 81 to 100, and then 101 to 120. So it's kind of scrunched in. We'll do a better job. This words were in the way. And then now we make our bar chart. So 1 to 20 was 1, so we make a box. And then 21 to 40 was 2, so I make a bar of 2. And then 41 to 60 is 6, so I'm going to go up to 6 and over. 41 to 60. 61 to 80 is also 6. 81 to 100 is 2. And then 101 to 120 is 1. Okay? So the bar chart is called a histogram. Notice there's no gaps. We just connect all the bars. So there's no holes. Your tally goes on the left and your range goes on the bottom, and that's called a histogram. Okay? All right, let's do another one. So when data is symmetric, you use the mean to describe the center. So whenever you have a centered set of data, you use the mean. Okay, and then you use the standard of deviation to describe the variation. So this is just some rules of thumb that statisticians follow. Okay, so maybe we add these to our graph over here because we've got centered and skewed. So whenever the graph is centered, use the mean is a better statistic and the standard of deviation is a better statistic. Okay? When the data is skewed, they want us to use the median as a better statistic. It's just a rule of thumb. And then our box and whiskers plot, which we called the 5-number summary, is a better to describe it. So this is basically just a kind of a know-how of which data to use. Okay? So when it's skewed, you want to use the median and the 5-number summary. Okay, so when it's skewed. So we'll add that to our notes. Okay? All right, so let's make our tally chart. So we already did the intervals for you. We do intervals of 15 to 28. So that means they're by 13. So 15 to 28. Then I need to go to 29 to, add 13 to that is 42. Then I'm going to go 43. Add 13 to that is 56. Then I'm going to go 57 to 70. What's the highest number? 95. So I got to go all the way to 100. So 71 to 83. And then, 84, sorry. And then 84 to 97. So there's my range of numbers, my 6 intervals. Okay, so 13. I did the range divided by 5. That gave me my 6 intervals. So I'm going to tally those up. I got a 22, a 15, a 20, a 15, a 44, a 95, a 29, a 37, a 16, a 68, a 28, 18, a 54, a 43, a 41, a 23, a 26, a 30, 33, a 31, a 30, a 16, a 17, running out of room, a 30, a lot of low numbers, a 47, and a 54. Okay, so there's my tallies. Now I got to do my they like to do the ranges sideways. So I'm going to turn my paper sideways and go 15 to 28, 29 to 42, 43 to 56, 57 to 70, 71 to 84, and 84 to 97. Whoops, 85 to 98. My bad. 85 to 98. So 85 to 98. And then I got to do my tally. So I've got 11, needs to go up to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can go by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so 15 to 28 gets 11. So there's my first histogram. And then I have 8. Then I have 5. And then I have 1. And then 0, and then 1. Okay, a little crooked, my bad. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so there's my histogram. That's my tally chart, which we call a frequency table. So is my data skewed left or skewed right? It's most definitely skewed right because it's less to the right, more to the left. So then according to my notes, which measure is best? So we're just going by the rule of thumb, right? These are statisticians. This is kind of like how they do things. So because it's skewed, we want the median and the 5-number summary. So we want the median, and then we call it the 5-number summary, which is a box and whisker plot, is a better variation. Okay? So that's how you make a histogram. How do you read them? Well, you read them the same way that you make them. So the double histogram shows the distributions of monthly precipitation for 2 towns over a 50-month period. So 50 months were calculated. Compare the distributions using their shapes and appropriate measures of center and variation. So city A is skewed right. So that means our center would be the median. So I would think the median would be somewhere kind of in here. Right? And then our variation would be the 5-number summary. City B, I'd say, is centered, which is, they call it symmetric, which means we want to use the mean. Typically, the mean is right in the middle. So that's awesome. Maybe it's in the middle of this guy too. Could be. We don't know for sure. We're just kind of estimating. We could calculate it, but they're not asking that. And the variation would be the standard of deviation. You can replace that with this symbol. Cool. All right, a lot of graphs, so a lot of pages, but that's all right. So now we're going to do a table shows the result of a survey that asks high school students how many hours a week they listen to music. Make a double box and whiskers plot that represents the data. Describe the shape of distribution. So we're doing box and whisker plot. Was that notes that I missed? Was the notes out of order? Oh, maybe we're just reviewing box and whiskers plots. Huh, it ain't gonna hurt. So let's do a box and whiskers plot. So we type the data and we gotta do the males and then the females. So we're gonna type the data into one of our stats. So stat edit, let's do the males first. 50, 16, 40. Wait, what? We don't need to do any calculations. I don't know what I'm doing. I better make sure I read it. Survey size is 50, so we've got the min, the max, first quartile, median, third quartile, min, max. So box and whiskers plot. Okay, so I gotta make a scale. Looks like the highest number is 52. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I went by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And the minimum is 16 for the guys. And the maximum is 40. First quartile is 24. Median is 28. And the third quartile is 32. So it's whisker, box, whisker. And then the minimum for, or that was the females, the minimum for the males is 18. So I'm going to do that above it. Maximum is 52, so that's way over here. First quartile is 30 for the guys. The median is 38. And the third quartile is 46. So we're going to make our box and whisker plot. All right, so there's our box and whiskers plot. Describe the shape of each distribution. So I think the women is for sure skewed left. And I think the guys, I mean, it could be skewed left, but it also could be centered. It doesn't look like, I mean, this tail is longer, but it's not that much longer. So I would accept, if this were a test question, I would accept symmetric or skewed left. But we'll just say symmetric for fun. So compare the number of hours of music listened to by females to the number of hours of music listened to by males. Well, I kind of compared them, right? So the males are more spread out, but it's symmetric. But symmetric and more. They do more. And they do more. And they listen to more music. They just do. According to this chart. Okay. About how many females surveyed would you expect to listen to music between 22 and 34 hours a week? So this is where, we're really analyzing box and whiskers plots now. I like that. So females between 32 and 24. So from 32 to 24 for the females would be 50% of the data. You see that? From Q1 to Q3. So 50% of the females. That's what a box and whiskers plot does. We're not guessing. We know that. So how many females took the survey? So 50% of 50 would be 25 females. Awesome. If you surveyed 100 more females, about how many would you expect to listen to music between 16 and 40 hours? For females, wouldn't you think all of them? 100% of them? I mean, the minimum is 16 and the maximum is 40. So between 16 and 40 would be all the females. So 100. You would expect that based on the data, right? So 100, all of them. Cool. I think that's it. Nice job, guys.